Hi Bobcats, this is Miss Lee, and today's video lesson is on dividing fractions. We are going to use reciprocals to divide fractions, and as you'll recall in our last video we talked about what reciprocals were and how we could find the reciprocal of a fraction. So divide by a fraction is equivalent to multiplying by its reciprocal. So all we have to do is just rewrite the expression as multiplying by the reciprocal. What does that mean? Well, our expression is 1/5 divided by 4. We're going to rewrite this expression as 1/5 times the reciprocal of 1/4, which is 4 over 1. And it turns into a fraction multiplication problem. And then you just multiply. Multiply your numerators together, multiply your denominators together, simplify if you need to. And to help us remember the steps for rewriting our division expression, we use the three letters LCR. And some of you might be asking, Miss Lee, what does LCR stand for? It stands for leave, change, reciprocal. So there are three letters, and if you look at our expression, there's three different parts. There's the dividend, 1/5, the number that is being split up. That's going to be assigned the L. There's the division symbol, that's the C, and 1/4, your divisor, is your R. And we're going to expect you to do this as you do your examples, as you do your homework, and your test problems. Once you have the three letters assigned, then you're going to go and do LCR. Leave the first fraction alone. The dividend stays the same, it does not change. Change the division symbol to a multiplication symbol. And reciprocal, write the divisor, write the reciprocal of the divisor. So you just flip it over and 1/4 becomes 4 over 1. And then you multiply. So let's go ahead and do a couple of examples. These are in your notes, make sure you fill them out. 9/10 divided by 2/5. First thing you do, you write LCR. And you're going to write it so that each letter matches up with a part of the expression. And then you say to yourself, leave it alone. That means 9/10 remains 9/10. Change the division to multiplication and reciprocal. Flip this divisor, flip the fraction, and write the reciprocal. Now we multiply. Multiply the numerators together, 9 times 5 is 45. Multiply the denominators together, 10 times 2 is 20. And now our favorite part, we get to simplify. I noticed that I can divide by 5. 5 is a common factor for both numerator and denominator. So I'm going to write it down here. 45 divided by 5 is 9. 20 divided by 5 is 4. Okay, I can't simplify further, but I can change this improper fraction to a mixed number. I can do typo. Top in, bottom out. So top number goes inside, bottom number goes outside. How many groups of 4, or how many whole groups of 4 can we make out of 9? 2, which is 8. Subtract, I have 1 remainder. So 9/4 as a mixed number is 2 whole with 1 left over out of 4. So 2 and 1/4. That's your answer. So we're doing the same thing as multiplication, we've just added a step. We've added the LCR step. Alright, leave 4/3 alone. Change the division to multiplication. Write the reciprocal of 1/4, flip it over, and you get 4 over 1. And now multiply. 4 times 4 is 16, 3 times 1 is 3. The only factor of 3 is 3, and since that's not a factor of 16, this is as simplified as it will get. Let's change this improper back to mixed number, do typo, top in, bottom out. How many groups of 3 are in 16? 5 whole groups, which is 15, and I have 1 remainder. So as a mixed number, 16/3 is 5 wholes with 1 left over out of 3, 5 and 1/3. It's not too bad, it's pretty simple. Okay, the next example, we're going to save this example for the next video when we talk about how to divide with mixed numbers. I do have 2 different word problems I want to work with you. I know these are not in your notes, so just kind of find a space where you can write the examples down. 2/3 of the kids in Lucy's class were participating in the school spelling bee. Miss Cease split the kids into 4 groups to practice. What fraction of the class would be in each group? Okay, I always go through, and anytime I see numbers written in word form, I like to go ahead and write them numerically. So this is my 2/3. Okay, and then we have 4. She's splitting them into groups of 4. So let's write our expression. 2/3 is our dividend. This is what we're splitting. And how many groups are we splitting it into? 4. So there's the expression. First thing I'm going to do, LCR, because it's division. Leave 2/3 alone. Change the division to multiplication. And now 4. What is 4 as a fraction? We have to put it over 1, don't we? Remember, whenever we're multiplying or dividing, everything has to be in fraction form. So the whole numbers you need to rewrite as a fraction. Mixed numbers you're going to have to rewrite as fractions. In this case, any whole number can be written in fraction form by putting it over 1. And the reciprocal of 4 over 1, we just flip it. It becomes 1 over 4. Now we have a multiplication problem. 2 times 1 is 2. 3 times 4 is 12. We can simplify. They're both even, so we divide by 2, and we get 1/6. So answer statement, let's answer the question. What fraction of the class would be in each group? Each group would have 1/6 of the class. Okay, one more example. Jerry is organizing his bookshelf. His shelf is 8/9 of a foot. So let me write my 8/9. Each of his textbooks are 1/12 of a foot wide. How many textbooks can he fit on a shelf? And how much shelf space will be left? Here are your textbooks. This shelf is 8/9. Each textbook is 1/12. So this textbook is 1/12. This textbook is 1/12. This one is 1/12, and so on. We want to know how many of these 1/12s can we fit into the 8/9. So it's the 8/9 that we're splitting up. So our expression is going to be 8/9 divided by, and the size of each group is 1/12. Okay, let's do our LCR. LCR, again, we want to see LCR and the expression rewritten for every problem. So we're going to leave 8/9 alone. Change the division to multiplication. And write the reciprocal of 1/12. So flip it over. And we get 12 over 1. Now we do our math. Multiply the numerators. 8 times 12 is 96. 9 times 1 is 9. All right, can we simplify this? We actually can. 3, we can divide by 3. And we get 32/3. And that's as simplified as it will get. Let's change it to mixed number, do our Tybo. How many groups of 3 are in 32? Well, 3 goes into 3 once. With a 0 remainder, bring down the 2. How many times will 3 go into 2? 0 times. So the remainder is a 2. So, as a mixed number, it's going to be 10 whole groups with 2 left over out of 3. So how many textbooks can he fit on his shelf? He can fit 10 textbooks, not 10 2/3, because you can't put 2/3 of a textbook. So 10 textbooks. On the shelf. Okay, and that's all there is to it. Good job, Bobcats.